right, YouTube says we're live, so welcome to Worldwide Slot Car Chat on Zoom number 301. The gang is all here with Courtney and Don and Mike and Rob and John and Garth and Dewan and Dale and Mike and other people. Let's talk slot cars. Does anybody have any new projects or new purchases or anything they want to show and or tell about? That's what we usually start off with. So raise your virtual hand or flow your real hand around. Mike, did you get something?
Yeah. Think you remember
Thanks, Garth.
this thing?
Let me spotlight you.
Okay. Well, it has a new chassis underneath. I found an old CG chassis that inline, and it dropped right between the rails, and I cut the spot out and bolted it in.
Nice.
And so we'll see how it goes. It's not terrible, but we'll see. Try it out.
What was the original again?
Scale Extric.
Okay.
Well, it still is actually. It's just I cut the bottom of the chassis apart. You can see the lines on the side there, and just put a pod into it. So it changed from a front engine to a rear engine.
Okay. Got it.
So, yeah. I got some wheels ordered for it, and we'll see what happens with that. But that's all I got.
Cool beans. All right, John, go ahead.
Okay, well, I actually took a trip to my local hobby store. And the great thing about this hobby store, I'm just going to share, is that they get collections in, and you never know what they're gonna get in. So I actually found these. Like, check this out. This is from the 60s. I mean, it's I won't use. I mean, it's to go on the wall in the shop. But like four-wheel brake kit. You believe this? Just awesome. And here's the back on, and it shows you like how to install it. Oh man, it's just so cool, and it's actually in great shape.
I was gonna say
Considering how old
it looks like it's been in a sealed container. Or at least
Yeah,
the
yeah,
one on
exactly.
the right there, the lighter colored one.
Yeah, there's one that's in better shape than the other. You're absolutely right. And then I found this, which is absolutely useless, but you know, I like it still has like the old price on it, $1, but it's for hopping up your monogram motor. Isn't that cool?
Now, how would those brakes work on the first thing?
Oh, you want to bring it back?
I'm just trying to,
Okay.
I'm trying to understand it.
I have no idea. I didn't even look at this.
Okay.
Yeah,
Great.
like I have no idea how that would work.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I mean, where's Chris or Dennis when you need them?
Yeah, exactly. And then I thought of you, Dewan, when I found this. I had to get it.
I think I have a car. I think I have a car that can fit on.
Well, I mean, the tires are, I think they're perished.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But check this out. They didn't even punch the card.
You make it to the rack, to the display rack.
Isn't that cool? It's like, oh, don't put it in, and it says 1968 right here.
Wow, yeah.
Venice, California.
I've been
Good
by
news
that
is
place many times on
Good news is if I
Glencoe.
ship this to you, you won't have to pay any tariffs.
Yeah, the Revell factory is on Glencoe Avenue, just outside of Marina del Rey in LA, and I've been by there many times.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry, after the fact, after they left. When they were there, I was too young.
Wow.
You've been to where they used to be.
Exactly, that part.
So I just got to pick out a spot where to put them in the garage.
A place of honor.
Oh man, I have some other things that I found, believe it or not, in Montreal. I have the same vintage, and they're a bunch of Cox gears, and they're in these beautiful little plastic clip cases. And oh my, and again, unpunched. And I literally found them in a box in a corner. This place was called Udesco. They're closed now, but it was like a model and slot car warehouse. But they didn't even know they had this stuff. It had prices on it from the 60s, In fact, I even found a brand new in card 1/32 scale Cobra. What do you call it? The monogram.
Daytona?
No. It was they call it the Cobra Ford, but it was really like the Cooper Ford,
Oh,
right?
I see. King Cobra.
Yeah. And that cost me a whole $1.50 Canadian at the time. And I came in with all this stuff, and my French is not very good, but I heard the word fou because I was there with a buddy of mine who's fluent in French, and he just went, "Yeah, he's crazy." So I bought this whole box of stuff and took it home. It was great, great fun.
Cool. Okay, Jim, what you got?
Well, let's see here. I decided to get away from the yellow pit boxes that I've had like 8 or 10 of them.
What?
So I got a blue one.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Scared the hell out of me there, Jim.
So I bought a blue one. You can see this box is not technically for slot cars because it's got an RC transmitter in the top, but it's still an RC box, a slash slot car box, depending on what I put in it. But the real thing about this is I went online and I found this light, which I've been trying to build the perfect light for years, from IKEA to 3D printed to whatever. And this was a new one that I just bought, and it folds up. So that's one of the big things. It's easy to put in the box, put anywhere. But the cool thing about this light is the heads split and they swivel. And you can see how the light is here on the right-hand side. So you've got a full 16-inch wide light when you unfold it and then unfold the head. It works really good. It's USB powered, so I can plug it into a power supply or a power bank. And then what I did, going back to the original pit box, is I 3D printed this little bracket. And so that's just glued on there. It holds fine with E6000. And it goes right into the slot of the latch when you open the lid. And then it just folds out. And it's almost perfect. And here it is. It sits there. That little bracket holds it without any problem. You can swivel that head. You can rotate that head depending on how far out you put it or how high you extend the second arm. And then it works just perfect. Here's an overhead view. You see what it looks like. Shines right exactly where you want it. And it's the most perfect light I've found so far.
So I see you've done some cropping for your photos, which means you're probably going to market this thing. Is that correct?
No, I just try to get rid of a distracting background. I didn't do a very good job of it. But yeah, I did that. So, but it works great. It's bright enough. It's portable enough because it folds up. It runs off the power bank because it's a USB input. And it does have a built-in battery, but the battery doesn't last very long. Maybe lasts like half an hour. So I don't worry about that because I just plug it into either a power bank or an AC outlet with a USB brick or something like that. So other than that, which wasn't the greatest in terms of the battery power, it works great. So.
Well, you probably only have it on when you're using it. You don't just leave it on all day, I assume.
I leave it on all day.
Okay, never mind.
Pretty much because I can plug it into the AC, but with a USB power brick. Or
Yeah.
I have a 20,000 milliamp power bank on the back of this the box, and so I can plug it into there with 20,000 milliamps. It lasts all day without any problem. So
Hey,
I
Jim,
like
does
to have
that
it
have-
that way, just so I don't have to worry about turning it off. So it works great.
Does that have adjustable intensity?
It does, but it's on bright all the time. The low
Okay.
intensity is not very intense, and it does have different color temperatures of light, but I just leave it on the full bright all the time. And the other good news is that light's $10.
Are you going to help us find them?
They're on Amazon. If you just search for an LED desk lamp, you'll find it.
I've done that many times. There's always all kinds of random stuff.
I can put a link in.
A link would be fantastic because it's probably called book light, desk light, LED battery powered, USB powered book light, desk light, desktop light.
I think you're right. I think it is technically designed as a book light, but a lot of book lights are very small.
Yeah.
You know, because they're made for books, and this one's not really made for books. It's 16 inches wide when you split it out. So
Yeah.
I'll
Like a
find the
portable-
link and put it in.
Like a portable desk lamp.
Yeah,
Made for slot car boxes.
made for, well, with that little bracket, it just fits in that notch where the latch is, and it just stays there.
Well-
It moves around a little bit, but it stays enough where unless you just hit it with your arm, you're not going to have a problem with it.
Or
Yeah.
RC boxes.
RC boxes, yeah.
All right, cool find. Looking forward to a link on that. All right, moving along. What you got, Mr. Rob?
Oh, yeah. Sorry I missed last week, but scheduling caused a problem. But today, this morning, and yesterday, I designed this, but this morning I printed it off, and I made a hood
Nice.
for the little tractor for the track cleaner. And this was the only green filament that I had, but I thought this was kind of cool, so kind of finished it off. And this project is in the books, and I'm on my way to whatever else comes up that's fun.
So it's Howdy who picks up the duty. That's awesome.
Yeah, I've got a number of these heads around the track just clipped onto the sidewall, and so I've got two Howdy Doody spectators. They're twin brothers, and everybody gets a kick out of watching those. So yeah, this turned out really fun. It was a fun little project. It works great. So this one's in the books.
Cool, cool, cool.
So, John Deere.
Yeah.
All right, cool stuff. Thanks for sharing. And Garth, what would you like to share today?
Got an update on my NSR rotating tube motor pod. Hang on a second here. Okay. Got that okay?
Yep.
All right, this is the rotating tube motor pod for a Sidewinder NSR. And on the left is the stock NSR motor pod. That's another shot of the same thing. That's the back of it. There's the chassis that I got that's with the stock pod in it. Here it is with the rotating tube pod. Stock pod again from the top. Rotating tube pod. You can see how the how different this is. This one has the 1 millimeter silicone foam washers underneath the pod, and on the other one, it's a silicone above the pod on the stock version. Okay, that's from the front. Another version. Oh, hang on. That shows a little bit of what the stock one looks like, and that's what it looks like in the with the rotating tube pod. And then the next thing is this guy. Okay, and this is the test that we did. And this test was based on a 10-lap run, okay? The 5 fastest laps out of the 10 laps. And the first on the left here, you see this is the 5 fastest laps out of the 10 with the stock NSR pod. And don't get fooled by the wiring, because this isn't this is an older photo here. And the test was done with this motor here in both pods. So the only difference was the only difference is one pod against the other pod. And then over here on the right is the times for the rotating tube pod. Okay,
We're not seeing any times.
really?
Oh yeah, it's not changing.
What do you mean it's not changing?
The photo isn't changing.
Photo's been the same.
Oh, I'm sorry. Hang on. Hang on. You see it now?
Yep.
Yeah,
We-
now we see it.
Yeah, now we see two pictures
Oh.
with a bunch of times.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were looking at that all along. Okay. Okay, this is on the left is the stock, 5 fastest laps out of the 10 laps run with the stock pod. Okay. And on the right is the 5 fastest laps with the rotating tube pod. Okay. And the results were, to say in a word, it's shocking to me. I could not believe. And this is not with me driving the car. This was with my friend Joe, who comes and runs cars, and he's kind of my test driver. And but you can see that for most, it's about around 2 seconds, 2 seconds faster than the stock pod, which shocked the shit out of me. I had no idea it was going to be that much. And that basically equates to about just a little bit under 10% of a difference. So it was, and that's the result. Okay. And so pretty happy with that. But again, I am shocked. I thought it might be a little bit faster, okay, but not this much faster, okay? Because based on the other tests that I had with other cars, like the previous test with a Thunderslot pod stock against a Thunderslot pod rotating tube, the difference was not that much. I mean, it was very, very small difference, okay? And this is the weight difference between the two cars. The rotating pod is about 0.5 gram lighter than the stock pod is, and other than that, it's all the same. So, anyways, I thought I'd show that to everybody. See what the difference is. I hope Courtney sees this because he's the one that insists that I do the testing. So, all righty.
Listen, I know you love the testing. I love the fact that it's that much faster. I'm curious to see what happens when you put a body on it. But
yeah, that's next. What do you think is going to happen?
I mean, I don't. I want to think that I know, but
think it's going to be slower. I mean,
I think it'll be slower. But man, that's a
obviously
great. That's
it'll
a
be
great
slower with a
result.
body on it. But I mean,
Not slower than the NSR chassis with the body on it.
right? I'm guessing, but I'm going to do both. Do it both ways again. So with the body, the whole idea is that I mean, I thought it was interesting to me. It was actually interesting to me to do this without even thinking about a body. You know what I mean? So, and like I said, I am shocked. Okay, I mean, I really didn't expect to see this.
That's a big difference.
Is that track record speeds for your track?
No.
Okay.
Track record just was broken just recently, and that's another shock. Okay, with a rotating tube pod and a slot dot Nissan R390 GT, which is a car that I really love, but it never has been any kind of fast car on my track. And for some reason, it just loved getting a 25K Predator ball bearing motor in it, and basically is the fastest car out of all the cars I have by a second. Okay, which is again, that's in the 20 second kind of air time. So that was also a shock. And then it did it again. That's 2 weeks in a row. It did it again, and this week the same car with the same driver did 2/10 faster than what was the record. The record is going in the moving down. So that's and I honest to God, previous to that, the track record at my place with a rotating tube pod was a slot dot it Ferrari 512M, okay, which is a great fucking car. I mean, just a really, really good car.
So what is the actual track record, Garth?
The actual track record right now at this minute is 20.7.
Okay.
How many feet?
And
How long is the track length again?
250 feet. So it's not going to be the kind of test that most people are going to.
Still, I mean, we're talking about a 20-second lap.
Yeah.
The hottest possible lap so far is a 20-second lap. So a 25-second lap is nothing to shake a stick at. And then you knocked 2 seconds off of that with your rotating pod design for the same chassis, and same motor and gear ratio and everything. I assume you just moved all the parts over.
Yes, this is the two. These it's the same chassis. Everything's the same. There's only one chassis, and that's a stock, soft or standard pod, NSR pod. Same wheels, everything. The same gearing, same pinion, same motor, same everything.
Yeah. So even on a typical shorter track like mine or other guys where we're looking at 6, 7, 8-second laps, that's still multiple tenths of a difference for even a short lap like that.
Yeah. So some interesting things are coming up that because of the 3 different pods that I now have. I started out with the slot.it style pod for slot.it cars. The second pod was a Thunder slot pod, and now the third pod is the NSR all sidewinders, but the third one is the NSR sidewinder. And the interesting thing is this pod, the NSR in the NSR car, the rotating pod is closer in it's closer to the slot.it pod than the Thunder slot. The Thunder slot pod against the Thunder slot stock pod was nary a difference. Okay, you know what I mean? On whereas the NSR style pod and the slot.it pod made much bigger differences on those 2 cars compared to the Thunder slot car, which doesn't surprise me that much because Thunder slots are so good right out of the box. You know what I mean? Even with without doing anything to them, they're pretty fast. So, but it's interesting because now I'm seeing these aggregate tines across 3 different brands and stuff. So, but like I said, this one was really quite the shock. Okay, that it's this much faster. So, I mean, I'm happy about it, but I'm still shocked about it. So, and then we'll have to put a body on it, like Courtney says, and see what happens. So, but interesting enough, my goal was to get a couple of Can-Am cars that I could do white kits with, okay, and with a pod of my design. So I'm almost at the goal. All I got to do is get a body and work on the car with the body and then build up another car. So anyways, that's what we got this week. So.
Alrighty, good stuff. Jeremy, what would you like to add?
Hey, I've got a couple projects that I've been working on. This project here, this was a car I'm probably going to strip. I posted it on one of the forums, but this number here, 76, this one and that one, as well as the little star back here in the back. This number, please ignore. That number it didn't come out quite right. That was my taking tester's glue and fingernail stamping kits and doing my own little tampo printing on it.
Mhm.
Now, the first couple of things I ran into is on this particular car, it's a narrow gap between here and here, and the stamper just it wouldn't fit without. If I'd have done it before I put those black things in there, it would have been fine. So then I took the smaller end, and then you can look through the end here and try to see where you're putting it. You know, once you got like the 7 on there, I could stamp it, and then I come back, clean it off, and put the 6 on. But if the stamp is not directly centered, it tends to roll one way, left, right, up, down. So it's like you almost, if you're going to do a 2-number digit with this, you'd rather have one stamp for both numbers that are, because trying to do 2 different numbers and lineups, it's a pain. So don't do that. Anyway, testers works. It's magnificent. It almost feels like it's a I wouldn't say sticker, but you can feel the difference on it.
Yeah.
It's just I gotta get this technique mastered, and I've got a few more nail kits on the way that have just roundels on them, so I can start seeing if I can actually put that and then put the number in black and see how it goes.
Right.
That was the first thing. So we're over that hump. I've figured that part out. Second thing.
Look good.
Yeah, it's getting there. It's a process. Someday somebody will make actual stamps for slot cars, and then we'll be in business.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what intrigues me. It's the antithesis of what you usually do, because you're so high tech with everything from laser cutting to 3D printing, and this is really low tech compared to the other stuff you're doing.
You're low tech, John. What does that mean? All right. All right. Yeah, Cardi, you're low tech also. Okay, so Sunday we had a race, and when I first get to the track, usually I run laps on my car and then figure out where I want to be with my controller. And on the bottom, I have a sticker on each car that I write down, 7, 4, 3, whatever I need. But as I was racing during the day, the conditions were changing because it could have been in the weather, or it could have just been we had 10 drivers. And one of the skills I don't have, and I know that like the expert drivers have, is they can change these settings while they're driving without even looking. They'll be messing if they need more brake, more traction. Whereas I start fumbling around for, which button am I on, which way, where, and it takes me out of my game. And originally I put colored stickers on here thinking, well, if I just look down, I can see red, green, white, but then you're looking down away from the track. That's always stupid. So I've come up with a plan. I'll let you know how it goes. But for now, I've put on these little buttons here that press on. And if I can feel triangle, I know, oh, triangle. I know where I'm going. That's my speed. And then I have a octagon stop sign for my brake. So there, it looks ridiculous, but I can now feel, and because it's so far, you get an easier pivot than trying to put your finger here and crank it. You almost get like
slot car racing for the blind.
Or old. How dare you?
Or old.
But anyway, it just makes it easier, and that way, if I'm reaching down, I don't have to look down. I can go triangle, stop sign, or I'm thinking maybe circle for the last one, or maybe just leaving it because I don't adjust it that much. But that'll make it a little easier for me while I'm driving to go, okay, less brake, more brake. So it's not really anything I would sell, but it's something stupid for me to get used to where I need to be without looking up.
Actually, it's brilliant.
Shut up, Garth. How dare you?
Not to throw rain on your parade, because it is a great idea.
You've already done it.
Yeah, Electric Dreams had a special edition DeFalco that had different shapes for the knobs.
Well, guess what? Mine are a penny. So, and
Yours
it's
are
a
a penny.
DeFalco.
Yeah, no kidding. That controller was like even more expensive than the exact same.
And if you
model
hate it,
DeFalco.
you just take it off. There you go.
Yeah, no. Your idea
So
is definitely-
Jeremy, when you're racing,
Yes.
after you get your controller set up, what do you adjust the most?
Brake and then
Exactly.
acceleration. Those are the two. I need those two though, because when I'm braking in like the track, it's changed, because people have been running on it all day or whatever, and I need more brake. Then I have to adjust it. But then coming out of that corner, the acceleration feels like digital. You know how it's like I'm tapping it too fast. I want more play in there. So then I'll have to back off. What's the traction control? There's every button on here has to do something to irritate me. I don't know why, but it does. So it's too much for my brain to process.
So
less
listen,
buttons.
I'm with you that I mostly adjust brake, and this is on the big cars. When I'm going in and out of the lanes, usually once I get the acceleration set, it's pretty well set, because the rest of it is dictated by, my finger, right? And so the brake I can't control. So when I'm racing, the only thing I will adjust is brake. And I'm with you. I really don't like to do it while I'm driving. I have, but you just wait for somebody to come off and you look down and adjust it.
That is the thing I do. I'm like, oh, if somebody crashes, please let me. But the other thing, like I said, is acceleration is important to me because when I come out, when I hit the corner as fast as I can, I pop off so I get full brake, and then when I come back, I like to feather it, to where I'm in the corner and then come out fast. But if I don't have my acceleration set right, as soon as I feather it, it's got 80% trigger, and I'm like, God damn it, and then I got to go back and move that back down. So hopefully this will help me. I'll let you know the results once it's tested. I'll put the file out there for free because it's not really that big a deal. It's just the standard knob thing. That's all I got.
I wanna ask you in the future that when you feel compelled to say the driving was mushy or whatever, like digital, that you simply append the word Carrera before digital.
Well,
It's like Carrera digital.
Yeah.
I meant like analog switches to digital switches. It feels like you're 100% off on compared to analog
Gotcha.
on
Computer
off. Yeah.
computer digital.
Sorry, I'm
off,
still in
off.
digital world.
Well, that's not how it came across.
Yeah, quit dissing digital.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, if your brain is upset with turning knobs while you're racing, I can't imagine how you'd be on a digital setup.
Yeah.
You're not
Jeremy.
making a good case for digital though, Mike.
Yeah,
So-
Jeremy,
Yeah.
I'll tell a funny.
you should post. Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
I was just gonna say one of the common things that people often say about digital is how unreliable the lap counting or whatever they want to say is unreliable. Well, the other night we raced at Russ's track and he recently did a hardware change so that he has the two light bridges to do parking in between it and stuttering for low fuel and stuff like Bill had set his track up for. And about halfway through the heats, one of the lights just decided that it didn't want to detect cars anymore. And nothing they did, everything looked fine, right? Everything was aligned and, there was no obvious reason for this failure. Fortunately, Bill had helped Russ install this new thing and had the foresight, probably because he knew shit can hit the fan at some point, to install a little black box that has 8 buttons, one button for each lane, or sorry, 2 buttons for each lane, one of which controls the light triggering mechanism, right? So he can literally reach over and press one of the buttons to trigger the light bridge. So for the rest of the night, somebody had to literally sit over there with their thumb or finger on the button for the second light of lane 4 and watch every time the car went by in order to press that button manually to make sure the system knew the car did in fact pass through both light bridges so that it would count the next lap. And then pay attention for every single lap that happens to hit that button at just the right time. And then don't hit the button when the person pulls in for fuel, because then they would run completely out of fuel. When they pull in for fuel, you got to not hit the button, wait for them to fill up and leave, and then hit the button. Otherwise, they won't get their next lap. I decided that I was not going to hang around for the rest of that night. And it just goes to show, no, in fact, analog is not as reliable as everybody likes to say it is.
Or the more technology you add, the more problems you're going to add.
Sure. But we've had similar issues with just a regular DS, no bells and whistles, just plug in and go because it's still connected to a computer. There's still electronics in there, right? It's the only thing that's going to be more reliable. Well, no, it's not. I was going to say you could have a person doing a little check mark on a piece of paper every time they see the car go through, like before electronic lap counting. But then that relies on the person, and human error is obviously negligible.
In a recording studio, they call that a ghost in the machine.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. Yep. All right, Gio, what you got? You were gonna say something.
No, yeah, I was just basically replying back to no, suggesting to Jeremy to post on slot forum about the knobs. They're gonna love it, man.
Oh
They
yeah.
will? I
Oh
think they
yeah,
do
for
like
sure.
my stuff. You're right.
Pedro will
Yes,
absolutely
no,
adore
but
you.
just to see how far away from the original thread, topic of the thread will go. Just so for
It's already changed before I even posted it. It's already off topic. Don't worry.
Just couldn't find the right color green.
Yeah, there you go. I had the wrong color green. Son of a biscuit.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't thought of it before because it's actually pretty cool, you know?
They thought about different buttons. Greg just said they had different knobs.
Yeah, but I mean this thing is
Being
you,
able to stick yours on.
have to look down. You're touching it, you know. So
Hopefully it works. I don't know. I'll let you know. We have a race on Sunday. I'll try it.
Bring a few extras for other guys who have DeFalcos and see if they want to try it out.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
That's all.
yeah, bring
All
them
right.
to the wood slot thing when you come. Okay.
I'm not going to wood slot thing. Garth, stop it.
Yeah. Besides, that's a digital race.
Well, he's going there to sell products, but
That's true. Yeah. Go and have your booth with
Yeah. I'm going to drive 9 hours on my scooter in the middle of 32 degrees across the Midwest to sell trinkets worth $10. Not going to happen.
You've done crazier things.
That's true, but this is not one of those things. Next topic.
All right, next topic. Anybody else got any show and tell, or are we moving on? Moving on. Club Corner. Talk about your racing, past, present, and future. Anybody going to wood slot?
No.
I'm not.
Jeremy is.
Jeremy's not. Garth is.
Well, you want me to show mine?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, not that.
Anything but that. Anything but that finger. Let's see. One. Come on.
You can do it.
I do have a club corner when he's done.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Maybe we should let Jeremy go first.
No, mine's a boring.
Maybe.
I have discussion.
I already
Yeah,
did
by the
mine.
time Jeremy's done.
Okay.
There we
In
go.
honor of the first Formula One season.
Hey,
or
Google
racing-
broadcast. No, I don't. And if, oh, sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
We ran Formula One cars 2024, so we're a little bit behind since we don't have the new ones out yet with the kind of bodies. And there were the three of us, and we raced Oxygen. I tried hundreds of laps to try and get my ghost car to work, and for some reason, it worked fine while I was testing, but it didn't while I was set up the race. So we pulled the ghost car off, and we just ran the three of us there. And Shiggy got the best of me big time because I just flubbed a lot. I don't know what happened between I did testing and I ran 125 laps without falling off. And I fell off like 6 times during the race. So I just had a bad day. And the consequence is 2 laps behind. I clawed back somewhat from it. And I did get fastest lap, but it was a debacle from my standpoint. But I was actually a lap and a half, not 2 laps as it indicates, but still. And then we ran, the 5 of us ran GT3s, and this was the first race for the BMW.
Missing the
And
wing.
I was really, really surprised at how well it did. It
Car ain't
wasn't
legal. That car ain't legal, man.
Oh yeah, I know it doesn't have any. Yes, I know that. I lost the interior for it, and I could not find it.
I mean the wing. Where's the wing, dude?
That's lost too. And it's one of those things. It's like, okay. Anyway, there was no malice aforethought with that, but the wing was disappeared somewhere. I put it aside.
They're probably both right in the middle of your workbench.
Yeah, well, that's a possibility. But I looked everywhere I could think of, and I pawed through stuff, and at any rate, it's not there.
Well,
Yep.
actually, sorry, did it fall down, Mike, or did it fly off, or?
Oh, it was not mounted in there in the first place very well. So I
Okay.
was going to glue it on. It was one of those things I didn't get around to, and then in the meantime, I put it somewhere and I can't find it. So, and
Oh,
the
okay.
same with the interior. It's like, what the hell did I do with it? Just now, I actually found the driver figure for it.
Oh, nice.
So
Well, no, the reason I ask is that, I mean, one solution that my wife suggested, and it really works, is in the garage, I put yoga mats down because I'm always dropping really small parts and they bounce a little bit, but they don't fly away. So it's easier to find.
that's a good idea actually, because if it wouldn't bounce, it would be much better. And the floor monster grabs a lot of stuff. Anyway, there were 5 of us, and I turned the voltage down for the 2 newbies that are there, and we actually had quite a good race. I haven't posted it yet on the YouTube channel, but it was well done. And at one point, Ellen was in second place for quite a while. But the difference is she's got twice the size of fuel tank as the rest of us, so she doesn't have to stop for fuel as often, and she has a little bit less voltage, so a little bit less high speed, so it isn't quite as dramatic for her, and it works quite well to calm them down a little bit. So anyway, I got my 2 laps on Shiggy, and definitely, even though he ran faster than I did, quite a bit faster actually, if you look at it, it was a good race. I got into the lead at the beginning, and Shiggy kept pecking away at it, but he couldn't make it. So it was good fun. We had a good time, and that's all I got. Okay, there you go.
Right, beat me to it.
Yes,
All right.
my
Go
finger
ahead, Jeremy.
worked for a change.
Yep.
So this came up at our race on Sunday, and I just want to know how you guys handle proper etiquette when racing. So we had 10 people show up, and we have 4-lane tracks. So you're going to rotate through. You're going to be by different people, but in order to get to the podium, you need to be one of the fastest drivers, right? So you never know where you're going to be because we randomize the starts of the races. So you might be by a slow group, you might be by a fast group. The first 3 heats that I was in was kind of with a slower group of guys, just by random chance. But I still had to put down as many laps as I could if I want to get to the podium. And so at one point in the 3rd heat, I just slowed down. There was a big crash. I kind of slowed down a little. I wound up losing the whole race by like 1.4 seconds, but that's not where the issue came in. The issue came in on my 4th heat. Let me quickly show a picture here. Maybe. Okay, so this is the track. This is not the heat in question, but this is the track. You'll see the cars come this way. We were racing Pioneer Legends, which are open wheel and a little dangerous. Now, on the very last lap, we're doing 15 laps. It's lap 14. I'm coming through this way, and as I'm coming through, I can see the guy who's in 2nd place, but I'm closing in on him to lap him. And when he gets right about here, I think he was in the white lane and I was in the blue lane. I'm still going as fast as I can because like I said, I want to get a podium. I can't just stop and go, well, okay, I'll wait for you guys because then I'll be in 4th, 5th place or whatever. But at this point coming through, I'm so much faster than him. As my tires break out, we touch, and for some unknown reason, he went out. I didn't laugh. I was like, oh, sorry, didn't mean to. I still came through. I got my lap. The race ended, and he was very upset. Now, what kind of policies or gentlemen's agreements do you guys have in place for that? It's like, I could have backed off at this point and just said, well, I'll take 4th or 5th place, no big deal. Do I keep going for it? I didn't change my pace. I didn't try to take him out on purpose, but I couldn't let off the speed that I was going because this is the pace I've been setting my whole series, is like, I'm trying to win. So I'm just curious, like, what do you guys do in those kind of situations?
Just tell them hit shit.
Oh yeah, that's one. I know, but it's caused of dust up, and I thought,
Yeah.
If
I'm
you
used
do
to
it
getting
in
taken out.
Italian, if you do it in Italian, it sounds sexy.
Oh,
So the reality of it is you didn't mean to nerf him, right?
Yeah.
not on that. No.
Right. And you're not known as a driver to take people out anyhow.
Well,
Okay.
not go that
And
far.
then you, Jeremy, should hit shit.
So then they think you did it on purpose.
Well, no. This conversation is about the person was mad at me at that point, but earlier I think he was involved in the bigger wreck that I had slowed down for, and he was angry about that. But he's just saying in general, we need to stop taking people out, or and I'm like, well, are we gentlemanly racing or are we trying to win? Because of the way the heats are structured, I'm not really racing against you guys that are slower in this heat. I'm racing against the top 3 guys that weren't with me that have already set their pace time, much quicker than me. And like I said, I lost by 1.4 seconds. I got second place, which is fine. But did that slowdown that I did in my second heat, it probably cost me the race for slowing down. So I just don't know what to do. But no, I'm not known as a guy who will just give up a corner. I'll admit that. Like, I'm pressing the corners unless I got a crappy car, in which case I just pull it off or slow down in the straights. But if I'm competitive, I'm not giving you a break.
Well, it's too bad it's not hockey. Just throw your gloves down and have at it.
Yeah, but I'm the young guy in the group. That would be elder abuse.
So our group has a mix of racers, and we randomize as well. So it's very common to have different skill levels right next to each other. We have a blue flag rule in our rules, but it's more or less optional. And it only applies when you're not racing for place. If the 2 people in that heat, anyways, if the 2 people are on the same lap, then obviously you don't. Even if you know the guy behind you is maybe faster and could pass you, you don't have to give it up. But if you're not on the same lap, they're 1 or more laps ahead of you, then you're supposed to wait for an opportune moment to allow them to pass. Unfortunately, it sounds like in your case, I don't know how many laps you are ahead of him, but you were coming up to lap him either for the first time or again. And it was at the end of the heat, and it was the last turn before the lap counter, right? So basically, there was no other opportunity before or after for him to let you by, and it was purely accidental. But that's like the fluke. How often do people who are behind fight to not have somebody lap them who is clearly faster than them? Does that
In
happen?
our club, 90% of the time, nobody will let you pass.
Yeah.
Because they're fighting for everybody pretends to be gentlemanly, but then you're in the heat and you're like, why is this guy not slowing down in the corners? I've already caught him. Like, it's a fight. And that's why I don't understand why somebody was mad at this particular event when they've taken me out dozens of times. But I guess this is just an egregious attempt. I don't know.
No, it's basically the person who.
But like, there are people in our club that I know, if I'm in a heat with him, I'm really racing against the best driver, but to get there, I'm going to have to get past this guy. And he's always in 3rd or 4th place. I'm like, oh, crap. It happens. And I just thought that was part of racing. I've never had anybody get indignant about it.
And the indignancy is part of it as well. I mean, you can write as many rules as you want or have gentlemen's agreements as much as you want, but somebody's still going to get their panties in a bunch if they're the type of person to get upset about that, right? But one of the guys in my club is no matter how obviously unintentional it was, or what, he gets the same amount of mad that you just ruined his possibility of winning the race.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't matter, if you were legitimately trying to keep ahead of him, or if you should have been blue flagging yourself. It doesn't matter if something causes him to come out that he believes was not his fault, even though a lot of times it was in fact his fault that he came out. He gets just as mad. It's just the type of person, I guess the only thing you can do is if that type of person gets like potentially violent, is to say,
Well, it's nobody got
go ahead.
violent. They just sent out an email saying that we're all
Okay.
trying to have fun here. What are you doing? And I'm like, okay, I don't know.
If we're
But
all trying to have fun, why are you so pissed off at a
I know.
random crash event, right?
I, I
Brush it
I guess they
off.
just get tired. Like I can tell you, for example, 3 times this season in racing, I've been duking it out with somebody, trying to pass them, pass me, inside, outside. It's because, and it's for some reason, I went to the long straight and I seen we were coming into the corner together and he was on the inside of me and I just hit my brake and stopped and he went flying past me and then I kept going. You
Hmm.
can anticipate those guys that where they're, I don't know what it is, but you can sense, okay, we're too close for too long here. Something bad's gonna happen.
Yep.
And I always just stop. I mean, I've done it 3 times to people this year. So I was just curious how you guys handle it in your clubs. Now, obviously, Courtney just goes for the gold every time, anytime.
Two
Yeah,
turns. So when we're serious racing,
yeah,
and if I'm not towards the top of the leaderboard, most everybody gets 2 turns. But if I'm running, if there's one guy I really want to beat, his name is James Merriman. He's world class. If James and I are close, you get nothing. I'm coming through, like it or not. When we're club racing, though, I'll stay behind Terry for 2 or 3 laps, and then I'll just say, Terry, I've got to go, because Terry's going to take me out, right? So I've got to pass him on the inside. But Terry doesn't get mad, and now I'm the only guy he lets by. He still takes everybody else out.
yeah,
So and so there it is. You just, while you're at the drive-in, say, listen, man, you got 2 turns. I'm coming by.
yeah. I was hoping somebody would have some weird or interesting way they take care of it, but I do the same thing basically. I wait till I can get through. I give it a few laps, and if I can't get through, I'm just gonna have to push my way through and hope we both make it. But sometimes we don't both make it.
I think
Yeah,
it's
sometimes.
I think it's situational too. I mean, if you are going on the last lap and you're in contention to win and you don't go for it, I don't see a problem with that. And I think he's got to realize that you're fighting for the win and he's not, if that's the situation. And maybe he should have backed off a little earlier and let you have the opportunity to win instead of you taking him out, not intentionally, but you did. It's kind of like NASCAR. If you do that on the first lap, yeah, we might have some talking to do. If you do it on the last lap going for the win, it's a different situation.
Part of the
Yeah,
big
what we do. Can you guys hear me? Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess
Yeah.
you can. What we do is when we run our legends, we got super modified legends, and the rear tires stick out quite a bit because we're running wider axles and tires and everything else, and they got the Predator motors in them, and they run fast and they stick to the track really well. Unfortunately, there's always that time when we're running somebody else that has a car that's a little bit slower. Always try to get around them without banging into them if we're on the inside lane. But we try to pass them on the straightaways as much as we can and give them the benefit of the track. So it's just one of the things with the group of guys that you're running with. It's kind of different between tracks and cars and classes and everything else. But I think the main thing to do is just to have a good time. And it's sometimes stuff happens and you can't control it if you want to get by and you don't have another opportunity to pass on a straightaway or a larger radius turn to make a clean pass. Then you just have to kind of keep pushing it in until one of you are going to let each other go by, and it's just part of the game when you're racing.
It's been happening for years, years and years and years. And the two things I've heard is gentlemanly racing, which are two words that have nothing to do with each other whatsoever. They're completely opposite each other. I'm like Courtney, certainly at the multinational races and stuff that I've been in over the years. It's the responsibility of the slower drivers to understand where the faster drivers are, as well as vice versa. And generally on a straightaway, if someone's coming up to pass me and I blip the throttle on the straight, I'm going to lose about 4 inches, but he's buying clear, and everything's fine. If I'm coming up on a guy, I'll say, I'm coming up. And he'll know whether or not he's quicker than me or not. And most guys let you by. Some guys don't. But I mean, there's no, I don't know how you get around it. Nobody's figured out how to get around it for 60 years. So I'm not quite sure if we're going to figure it out in the future.
Well said.
You know,
Yeah, I see
the one, I mean, you have to know what you're never, ever, 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 ever be in a hurry and try and pass a guy on the outside. That's just not a smart thing to do. So pick your spots. And like Courtney, I'll say, I'm coming up, I'm coming by. I'll give the guy a corner, 2 corners, 3 corners. If he doesn't let me by, I'll take him out on the inside.
I was gonna say all those things, and to basically lead by example, right? If you're in a situation where somebody is lapping you, then you say, you just make it obvious that you're letting them by, right? So then they go by, and you say, and then you continue racing. And when somebody does that for you, thank them. Thanks, Greg, for letting me. But you don't have to say the whole thing. Just say thanks as they let you by. And fair warning for how many turns you're going to let somebody stay ahead of you when you know you're going to pass them. That's actually a pretty good idea. Most of the guys don't do that in my club.
Yep.
We just kind of hope that the person who I'm coming up on knows that I'm going to pass them and gives way at the next opportune moment.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't, and you just gotta hope for the best and go for it, or
Yep.
wait till they screw up, and then they're off the track, and you hopefully don't get involved in their crash.
Yeah.
Well, Courtney gave me a good idea there. He said, he tells the person, hey, I'm going to try to pass you here. And then it's on them. They can either say, I'm going to keep fighting you, or I'm going to let you pass in the straight. But that's a good idea.
I mean, it generally happens more in club racing where you've got 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah.
In bigger races where you've got 10, 20, 30 guys in an entry field, you have qualifying. So what ends up happening is just because it happens that way, the faster guys, the better guys tend to run with the better
Sure.
guys, with the faster guys.
Yeah, it's self-sorting.
Yeah, at the MR slot car track, what we do is we have an A class and a B class. So the B drivers all drive with the B drivers, the A drivers all drive with the A drivers. Now there is big discrepancies between top of A and bottom of A and top of B and bottom of B, but it does eliminate some of the newer guys having to go up against with some of the quicker guys, which and it seems to work out real well because the guys who are there, right off the bat and are slower don't like to get lapped 40 times every race by the quicker guys, so they're a lot happier running with the B guys and vice versa. So, but with a club, you got 2 or 3 guys showing up. Like, how do you do that? That's tough.
And to add to what I was saying earlier, let it slide as much as you can when you're on the wrong end of those situations.
Right.
Just like it's, they'll apologize. You say no big deal. That's racing. Stuff happens.
So I always do laugh about it. I don't get mad about it. And in one race in particular, when we used to race 3 strikes and you were done, I got taken out 3 times by the same person before I got to lap 1. And to this day, I remember that because it was in stock car and I was laughing so hard. I was like, how is that even possible? Unless you were doing it on purpose. But I still remember it. But you got to let it go. I couldn't go, well, you're trying to kill me here. What are you doing?
Yeah.
So.
Well, you also got to, that's part of the driver's responsibility. At the clubs and the races that I've raced and racers that I've raced against for multiple years over time, I know who I'm up against. I know who's in the lane next to me, and I know what their tendencies are, and you have to develop those tendencies as well.
Yeah.
So, who am I racing against? What do they like? What's going to happen here? And you've got to run your own race, and that includes how to stay out of trouble.
Well, there's another old adage, and John may or may not disagree with me. But there's an old adage in racing, when a fast guy and a slow guy crash together, it's always the fast guy's fault because he can avoid it. Now, that being said, Jeremy, if it comes down to the last lap, like
Yeah.
you mentioned it was, if it
Yeah.
comes down to the last lap and I'm lapping somebody and I have a chance to win, I'm gonna go for it. I mean, I'm not gonna intentionally try to take the guy out, because if you intentionally try to take the guy out to get by him, you have just as much chances coming off as he does.
Yeah.
But I am gonna go for that hole. And when I go for a hole like that, if there's a car on the outside, I typically back down my corner speed by about 10%. I lose virtually nothing. I'm not going to hit him, and I'll probably go by him.
All right.
It also depends who you're racing against too. I know that from experience. There were some guys who were faster than me that in a race I would let by, and within 2 corners they were off the track, and I'd get my place back.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that was my hot topic of the day. Thank you.
Yeah, no magic formulas for you. Sorry.
No weird rules.
No.
One other thing real quick is going back to RC racing, the track that I race at, one of the first things in the driver's meeting is, we're here to have fun. You're going to get taken out. You're going to take people out. That's just the nature of the beast. If we have some serious issues, he doesn't say this part, but basically he's kind of implying that if you're going to have some serious issues with that, maybe you not need to be here.
Yeah, like the 10 Commandments of slot
But
car
yeah,
racing.
you're going to get taken out. You're going to take people out. That's just the nature of the
See, I don't know if this will help, but I used to have to spend thousands of dollars instead of tens of dollars. Maybe if you increase the price of everything.
make the cars thousands of dollars. So if you break them, if there's a
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or somebody suggested, funnily in our club, they said we should try that one strike and you're out kind of thing they do. And I was like, I talked to some people on our show that do that. I don't know how they do it, but they've done it.
Well,
It's,
good
brutal.
luck with that.
I know.
It's pretty, I mean, that's why we do 2-minute heats, but we stop at a minute to put people back on. So technically it's 2 strikes and you're out, but
Well,
yeah, it's
remember
pretty-
that I think German club, the Michael Niemes club or whatever?
Yeah.
Where they have like immaculate cars and you crash once, you're done. And it's like, whoa,
I
jeez.
remember that. Yeah, Dennis talked about that.
Yeah. So I guess that's one way to nip it in the bud. But,
Yeah. Our cars are too pretty to crash. You just don't.
yeah.
Just don't.
But our lap times go from
Again-
5 seconds to 12 seconds.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I mean, seriously, that goes back to what I was talking about. Those guys spend so much time and money making those cars not only quick, but look great. You can understand why they have that.
Sure.
Wayne sent me a message saying that he's got more important things to do than to come on the chat anymore. So see ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Yeah, why would
Okay,
why
well-
would a one-time champion of the Suzuka 24 ever be on our show again?
Give our regards to the dime store, Alan Partridge. That's awesome.
But first he complains about not being made aware of the time change. And then he says he's got table tennis to go to.
what time change? Oh, daylight saving?
Yeah.
Do they celebrate that
No.
in his country?
Not in
No.
England.
I thought they were still on
Right.
metric time.
I think they do, but it's a different time of year. It's
Well, maybe he's using International Zulu. You never know.
that's why I started posting the link to YouTube rather than the actual date and time, because if you click on the YouTube link, it'll tell you how many hours from whenever.
What time change?
What time change? Yeah, Tony has no idea what we're talking about. So
I've come on a normal time. Did you come on early or something, or what?
we were here an hour earlier. Yeah.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah, pretty much everybody over there probably missed that.
So you're live now. You're live, yeah?
We've been live for an hour. Yeah,
Oh,
If Wayne comes on an hour late, he's still got 52 minutes left.
that's true.
Actually, none of this is real, Tony. It's all AI generated.
That's true. We're
Yeah, that's true. And,
None of
Jim,
these
I'm
people
sorry,
are real.
but obviously 58 minutes is not enough time for Wayne. He wants to set a new record.
Yeah. He'd rather play table tennis than use up all the time here.
If this was AI generated, we'd all be a lot more handsome. Let me just say.
I have 5 fingers.
And
Except for you, Courtney. You're fine.
I was going to say, I don't even
Yeah.
know. This is the moneymaker.
Right.
That's why you're broke all the time?
That's the
That's what I'm
face that
saying.
sold 1 million houses.
Listen, I came home from work one day and I said that to my daughter. I go, but baby, this is my moneymaker. And she goes, Dad, aren't you on the phone all the time? And I go, yep.
All right, back to slot cars. Anybody else? Floor is open.
Blue button finally on. So
Oh, hold on. Let me hold that up again.
okay, blue button.
Nice.
I went with round, so I have three. I might turn this into a square. That way, I have 3 separate shapes to feel for. So
Yeah, the octagon's probably too round to do.
It's too giant, I think.
That too. Yeah, you can.
I
make
wanted it to be
big
bigger for brake because it's so important, but I don't know.
Oh, for small changes.
Yeah.
Put a lever on it instead of a round. Put a lever type thing.
You know, I thought of that too. Like you could, like a little lever, you could pull left and right, but it won't go all the way down to 0. You know, because it'll hit the other side. That was the problem.
Yeah.
I thought a big lever I could hold like right here. Just.
But you could make all of those thinner while still maintaining the shape.
Yeah, or I could put the lever down below where the other one is, and then have it come around. But
you'll learn how to do it without it.
I could. That would be probably the best option.
Jeremy, you know what I do? I don't have a problem turning the knobs when I'm driving.
Yeah.
But sometimes I will turn the knob the wrong direction.
Yeah, that's what's weird on these is like it goes 0. Yeah, it goes 0 to 10 on this one, but then the middle one goes 0 to 10 this way. And you're like, couldn't you just go 0 to 10 the same way on all 3 buttons?
No, I've done that. I go, I need more brakes, and I turn the dial, and I get less brakes. I go, I turned it the wrong way.
Whoops.
Jeremy, it sounds like you need a 4-leaf clover on there.
I think I need a foot switch is what I need, like a foot pedal, adjust like a guitar amp where you can just kind of tune it with your foot. Oh well. Or maybe somebody can write like a voice command. You can hook up a module. 10% more brake.
Hey
Google.
Brakes.
Yes, that's exactly right.
My wife.
We'd all have that,
interrupt, guys.
We'd all have that. Lower Jeremy's brakes.
Rotate and retype.
Somebody's
If
is
you've
going.
adjusting the
Yeah.
reach to bring the lever closer to the bar,
There we go.
turn the small adjustment screw located near
I
the
just
pivot
adjusted
point.
Greg's brake.
It's like
He will not be
How
happy.
to adjust brakes on a car.
No, maybe it's like a rally driver. Maybe there's 2 of us. You're driving, and then I'm adjusting the controller as we go.
That's a good idea. It'll never
Go ahead
fly.
and try that, Courtney.
2-man racing.
Very
yeah.
sorry to interrupt, guys, but I'm on my way to table tennis. I was just watching the show. That's how uninvested I am. And I thought I'd come on and just let you know that Greg's talking out of his arse. My notification came 30 minutes ago, or it came with a 7 p.m. at start time for me, and that's the usual start time. But yeah, I'm still watching you, so behave, or I'll send the boys around. Okay.
So even your localized YouTube start time was wrong.
Well, it's daylight savings time.
Yeah, but his local time, his computer's time is what YouTube uses to tell him how much longer till the thing. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
came at the
conspiracy.
usual time.
Jeremy, it's a conspiracy. It's Trump's fault. Boom. Mic drop.
Yeah, I'm gonna go now. Bye.
All right. Have fun with your table tennis.
I work for
Thank you. Wish me luck.
a worldwide company, and I keep trying to convince them to get on Universal Standard Time because we have this problem twice a year where somebody in another country we're going to meet at 1 and it doesn't update for them, and now it's every year, twice a year.
Maybe we should all go to metric time.
I agree.
Pretty much nobody you talk to likes the time, the changing of time. It's the argument is which time do we stick with?
I take either.
Dale has his hand up.
Kind of like slot car rules. Every
Yeah,
track
Dale
has
can
their
wait.
own rules.
We're talking about
Can I
time
ask a
zones.
question?
Sure.
I asked a question.
Okay, Tony.
Why do you have a change of time in America?
It goes back to the
It's
good old
pre-war,
days.
wasn't it?
It's
Pre-war.
Pre-war, yeah. It's basically to give the excuse is to give farmers more daylight.
Oh, that's the same thing as what we do here to give the farmers more daylight.
Yeah.
So you're doing this, it's the same thing for you as well.
But now all the combines have multi LEDs that light up the entire field, so you don't need it anymore.
You guys realize
GPS.
You realize that standard time was a Canadian invention. Sir Sanford Fleming, you know that.
Nobody's surprised about
National
that.
Treasure said it was Ben Franklin's idea. Anyway, we're way off the topic. Hopefully Dale can get us back on topic. What you got today, Mr. Shore?
Well, I just have a question. I wanted to see if I can learn something about gel claws tires.
Hmm.
There's not many people that sell them, and I don't see much discussion on the internet, on blogs of people that use them. So I'm puzzled about what they're all about and are they any good?
So
They're
you
a
sort of
soft
answered your own
silicone.
question there, Dale.
Sorry?
You sort of answered your own question then.
Nobody's using them.
Nobody's using it. Yeah. Well, why is nobody using them?
If you're using them on your track, they last forever. It's a combination silicone stuff. They last forever. They grip okay as long as everybody's running on the same tire.
Okay. All right.
They're limited sizes. I've still got probably 10 packages that they sent me years go by. I've tried them and I haven't used them in 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, if you got a bunch and you want to use them and put them on every single car, knock yourself out, they'll be fine. I mean, if you want a true tires, they're very, very resistant to truing. So they don't true well.
That's probably because they're silicone based, huh?
Well, it's not even, it's a weird, I remember finding out when I got them, sent them to me, they told me exactly what it was, and it's some sort of mixture of this and that. And, if you got a bunch and you want to use them, go right ahead.
No, I don't have any. I was wondering if I should try some, but I
No.
don't think I will now.
No.
Okay. That's all I had.
Yep.
Thank you.
I mean, stick with, what do you normally run on?
Well, I like the urethane tires from Canada. What's the name?
Paul Gage.
Yeah, Paul Gage. Yeah. I like those.
Yep. And again, as long as, they're not as quick as rubber tires, but they're a lot less of a headache than rubber tires. And
Yeah, rubber tires. I have good luck with some rubber tires, but only if everything is clean, clean, clean.
Right. And there's good luck and then there's good luck. I mean, you can take rubber tires and, do a bunch of stuff to rubber tires that will improve their performance by 10 or 20%. But it's involved. They're tougher to true. They're tougher to do this. So if you guys are happy with urethanes, they glue on, they stick on, they true up stupidly well, and they give you just fine grip.
Yeah. Okay. I'm building a few 25th scale stalkers from the 50s and 60s vintage, and they use pretty big tires, and Paul Gage has some that'll fit, but I have not yet found any of the standard the usual manufacturers like NSR and Slotted that make tires that are that size.
None, Slotted won't. There's a few. I mean, NSR makes some larger diameter tires, some old truck tires, and some 24 scale tires. If you're looking for another source of urethanes, you can try Ortman tires, which were the end all and be all of urethane tires before they changed their formulations. But there's a company in England called RS Slot Racing, and they sell Ortman tires, and a lot of them are, they sell a wide range of 24 scale tires that were taken from the original 24 scale mold. So you can order up tires with sidewall detail, whether it's Firestone or Goodyear or whatever, Dunlop. And they will be the equivalent, the new formulation of them is very much equivalent to the Paul Gage tires.
And that's called what? RS what?
The guy who handles them his name's Colin, and he runs a company called RS Slot Racing. It's in the UK, and the actual tire manufacturer is German, and they're called Ortmans, Ortmanns.
Yeah, or I've tried Ortman's. I guess I wasn't that impressed with them. Well, first of
Well,
all, with Ortman's, I'm not impressed with their sizing chart. I couldn't find anything that I could understand in a language that I know. And not
well,
that it's
we're
written in German, it's just written in their code language, all their
yeah,
numbers and so on, and
no,
nothing's defined.
RS Slot Racing them has under, he'll have banners for Cox, for Revell, and so you'll know what kind of tires you're getting. He's also great if you send him an email saying, I need a tire that's, I gotta have it, 11/16 in diameter or whatever. He's great at stuff like that.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And with Ortman's, the original Ortman's, which came out probably in 2005, 2006, were the best urethanes by far, better than anything out in the market right now. But the EU banned one of the chemicals that they used, so they came out with a second formulation, which was hideous. They were called Blue Dust Ortmans, and they were horrible. The newest iteration is not quite as good as the first ones, but the new iteration of Ortmans are as good as anything from Paul Gage or Yellow Dogs or stuff like that. They're
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Dale,
right.
you can you do casting, don't you?
Do what?
Do
The
casting?
casting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you think about making your own.
Well,
They're really
I have thought about it, thought about making my own, and my foray into research to try to find out which formulas of urethane to use left me more confused than I was when I was started. So
well. I use a smooth on product for the cars that we have on our track, and it's a 40 Shore urethane. It's fantastic.
okay.
By Ortman's or by Paul Gage's. We've got lots of guys in the clubs up here, and there's guys who have tried. One of the guys in the club was Darts Hobbies, and he made several formulations and all the rest of the stuff. Paul Gage's tires are consistently as good as anything out there. I've yet to I've yet to see a homemade small batch tire that it comes anywhere close.
Yeah, I have several Paul Gage tires on cars, and I'm pretty happy with them.
Yeah. Yeah, and you've got a tire tour so you can buzz them nice and round and stuff.
Yeah, I can do that.
Perfect.
I one other thing I want, a related thing is in making these stock cars, I'm using a lot of original type model kits from AMT and Johan, and a lot of those kits come with some kind of vinyl tire for the static display model. And I was wondering if anybody uses those tires for the fronts because they're
Sure.
pretty firm. I think they would be essentially no grip tires
Yep, they're fine. They're noisy, obviously, because
they're hard.
yeah, they're hard and they make a bit of noise.
Yeah.
Other than that, there's no reason not to use them.
Okay. All right. I'll pursue that then.
Yeah, I mean, back in the 60s, all kinds of guys were using model car front tires as fronts. Just, they're fine.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you.
Good idea. So on slot car related news, some people here probably are already aware, but the Australian slot car forum, oslot.com, is shutting down.
Yep.
They've decided that traffic is not high enough to warrant the continued cost involved. They're going to archive the existing site and make it available for research and browsing and historical whatnot. So it's still going to be there. It's just not going to be a functional forum. You won't be able to post comments or new topics or anything like that.
Yeah.
So
Bit of a shame, but to be honest, it's been that way for a while. Like it's not, it's,
no big surprise that was the decision. And there's at least one more forum that I'm surprised hasn't been shut down. as well. It's such terribly low traffic. But yeah, I'm sure it'll shut down too. Ironically, Oslot was the last known bastion of one of our favorite non-favorite people on the internet.
Who have you been talking to?
I have no idea.
I wonder if that's correlation or causation there.
You know what? There could
I don't
be a
know.
little bit. Could be a
Little bit from column A, a little from column B.
Yep. Anywho, won't be having to check that cider post there. I don't know. I don't remember what the specific end of life date was, but I'm pretty sure it's like end of the month at the.
Yeah,
At the
I heard it was March 22nd. I think it was March 22nd, but
yeah,
it's around there.
probably whenever their hosting
Yeah.
thing runs around.
It's one of the it's one of the important things in this hobby is like we're so niche anyway. We're very small. Our age demographic is sort of fading, slow, faster than you would want. So you got to keep these communities growing and like you got to moderate these communities, keep the idiots away, or at least limit them from. It's just so weird how many of these sites now they're just like moderated from the 1980s, and you're like, what are you guys doing here? You're trying to build a community instead of protecting the little fiefdom you have right now. I don't know.
It makes even less sense with, like, for example, Slot Forum, where it's been bought by a company for profit, right? So it was successful enough for a forum company to buy it in order to, put more ads on and make ads from it. And they even turned on an AI chat bot that automatically posts AI based responses to new threads that didn't get any comments within 4 days. This chatbot will pop on and say, "Gee, I'm so sorry your blah 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 isn't doing blah 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 blah. Maybe do this or what." It's just garbage. In order to make sure that there's as much interaction as possible for the ad revenue that they get. And yet the moderators still act as if they have any real power. Like, well, the fiefdom you're controlling is in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would be not surprised if basically also that one goes down because the amount of traffic that there is there, it's ridiculously low.
Especially for to make a company happy that is trying to do it
Yeah.
for profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still fair. It's still one of the higher trafficked forums, slot car forums online. And basically, it's between it and Free Slaughter, the German forum, as far as posts per day. But it's, for a company trying to make ad revenue, and it's got to be a lot. It's got to be probably double that for them to be happy with it, with the ad revenue. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. I'm not gonna go start my own forum. That's for darn sure. Not gonna start a wiki either. That was a waste of time. Freaking Slot Car Wiki.
Yeah, but that's because the week already is a kind of the wrong format.
Yeah. Oh well.
You have a decent forum now.
Yeah, this is way better.
It's a forum with the 16 people. Even some people playing ping pong, basically coming online. Hi, Wayne.
And if you want to learn anything that we've talked about, you got to basically start from the beginning and hope that your topic comes up at some point.
Yeah.
I've
been doing a bit more testing with NES.
Oh yeah?
And I managed to convert another bunch of the SP2 controllers that I have. So I put like 7 cars, 7 controllers on the truck. And I have to say that it's very readable with could have, I think with 7, I could have even gone up to 9. So, 3 rows, 3 columns, and still with the kind of AV setup that I got, which are very old TVs, still quite readable within my kind of environment.
Yeah.
And yeah, so there are a couple of things that we are refining in terms of information that is displayed to the driver. But it's kind of, yeah, it's really incredible. It's really good. And now Chris has been working on a feature around having your personal recognizable voice of the engineers and the pit so that they can tell kind of specific message.
Wow.
I've not tested it yet, but yeah. I have to see whether I can also customize with the swearing words that I can throw around to people. Colin, what the fuck are you doing? Anyway,
Make them
and maybe we'll
swear in
see whether I
Italian.
can tune with the kind of Italian or New
Yeah.
York type of accent.
Hey, I'm
Anyway,
walking
so
here.
yeah, it's going good. So maybe in a couple of weeks it's gonna be, let's say, it's gonna kind of extend the beta testing
Cool.
to other people. But I've not had the chance of testing it with the in a proper race settings yet. Yeah, so I do. Yeah, these 2 weeks I've been teaching, so my on Monday evening, so I could not have done anything around the track.
So you
Or
converted
I mean,
you converted an original oxygen cartridge to oxygen 4?
so I have 7 converted in oxygen 4. So I don't. Yeah, I think I have. I don't know. I must have something around maybe 12 SP2 with the oxygen cartridge. And so I have a bunch that I keep for my version 3 racing because and then the rest kind of converted them a while ago to 4. And I did a conversion of one very recent, I mean, like during the weekend, and still works perfectly. Actually, there is a problem with the manual because the manual says that once you move to the one of the so when you move it to a controller to the I think it's 20Z,
Yeah.
then you can use any dongle for connecting to the controller in order to install 4.
Yeah.
But it's not the case. If you put the blue in, then the bootloader does not recognize it.
Okay.
Or basically actually recognize it, but when you connect to the controller, then you don't have the option for installing the firmware. Basically, that button gets gray out. So you need to move your dongle, the yellow one, to 4, which is a pretty straightforward, and then you can install 4.
Okay. So you pretty much have to stick with the yellow dongle.
Yeah,
Use the dongle in version 3 to get your controller from 3 to Z, and
yeah,
then switch the dongle to version 4, and then
yeah,
use that to then switch from Z on your controller to version 4 for your controller.
yeah.
And then you've got to set the dongle back to 3 if you want to do another controller from 3 to 4.
No, actually, what I did was I think okay, I did like a couple actually, not one. So what I did, I installed all the Z controllers, all the Z firmware in the controllers,
Okay.
then move the dongle to 4, and then reconnect it, and then because basically when you install the Z, it's not the controller still is in kind of programming. You cannot use it, but you
Yeah.
can turn it off and then connect. You have to go through the procedure of connecting the game. So if you do 1 second afterwards, or you do 5 minutes later, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So if you have a bunch of controllers that you want to move from 3 to 4, install first all the Z firmware and then install version 4 after you moved the
Yeah.
converted the
dongle.
dongle.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good. Now
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
contemplating because I still have 3 of my SCP controllers are the original cartridge. So I haven't, that's half the reason I used the ARC controllers, is because I could do 6 controllers on version 4. But with the random failures people had of moving from 3 to 4 on their old oxygen cartridges, I hadn't actually tried it yet. But you've
Yeah,
done
so
several.
far,
Yeah.
yeah, so far I've done so all the conversion have been 100% success rate. So, you know, I don't want to jinx it, but it's fucking not really any good nearby.
I mean, I've had
But
pretty
so
good luck so far, so it's like I'm,
yeah,
I'm pushing my luck. At some point, I'm gonna lose a piece of hardware.
yeah. Which at the moment will be really annoying. I mean, because but
Yeah.
I told so and this I don't know what I'm gonna do with that, but I told my guys to, you know, if we're gonna move to version 4, it's better that they buy the SP3 controller because I'm not gonna buy 10 SP3 controllers.
Yeah.
I mean, and also because so for instance, I'm running the blue dongle with the special version of the firmware that Chris says. So if this stuff gets moving, I mean, I'm assuming that it will evolve. So the SP2, even yeah. So the version 4 for the SP2 is not anymore maintained. So at one point there's gonna be some issues, right? So I think it's best for them to upgrade. Thanks God, I mean, all the chips that we have been buying, they are all kind of new chips that can support the version 4. So that one is not a problem. There was an issue with with the SP3. I was not able to, when I was in the menu, was not able to select options. So I could move up and down, but I was not able to, you know, press the round button to select an option, like change tire. So I began to say, what the heck is going on? So I think we went on a Zoom with Chris, who I tried to, you know, debugging, and he was testing with this controller, I was testing with my controller. And then I asked, do you have a power amplifier? I say, no. Okay, I have. Okay, let me check. So then remove the amplifier, and then my controller is working to do that. And the SP2 controller that works. So there is again some kind of it's kind of weird, but so seems that the amplifier runs its own protocols and its own data, right? So if that is not kind of moved along with the SP2, sorry, the SP3, you know, firmware, the handle firmware, so that if they don't move along, so can create trouble or issues. And these I remember because when I think it was with with the even version 3 when we're testing the RCS02 with the amplifier, the fuel was not working.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the amplifier basically takes over the wireless communication with its own
protocol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protocol. So anytime something like that comes up, we need to go ahead and send an email to Christian and Maurizio and say, hey, the the amplifier firmware is out of date from the handle firmware. You know, whatever you did to the handle, you need to do to the power amplifier too.
Out of sync, yeah. So Chris is on top of that. So he's already talking with the Christian. So
Yep.
Eventually will be resolved. But it's looking good. So then the other thing is testing with the mic. If a mic basically is managed to run a race, then the freaking thing is gonna be bulletproof.
Yep.
Well, actually, in that vein, I've got I had something happen that has not happened before.
Okay. Let me make a coffee.
So I got a new C chip, and I went to register it, and I put the name in and registered it, and it the on the app, the registration thing's dimmed as it would normally when it's working, and then nothing happened after that, and it never showed up on my slotted group of chips that I've got. And I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to register. I couldn't get it to do anything. And I put it in a test rig that I've got, a test car that I've got, because I always, since I've had so many chip failures, I just test everyone beforehand. Well, somehow, I don't know how, but it got the hall sensor got in the magnet for the start finish line, because I had it on the track. Put it in DFU mode.
Yep.
And now it will not recognize the chip. Every once in a while it'll come up, but it will not do anything. It will not indicate that it's there on the app. Nothing. The chip won't work. It's stuck in DFU mode, and it says to register it. I tried re-registering it, and it says to register. Well, the chip is in DFU mode. Take it out of DFU mode in order to do that. Well, is there a way to do that without anything else? And our NRF toolbox does not recognize it. I can't find it on there. I've tried a number of times even with my Android phone that I've got, and it still won't find it. So I'm stuck with a chip that goes like, okay. And I don't know if it was just a bad chip in the first place or what. And in accordance with that, I got a B2 chip from Electric Dreams that registered fine, switched the firmware fine, went for a lap and a half and died. So it's like, both.
Yeah, so
out of the
that,
4 chips that I ordered, 2 of them are bad.
Yeah, so I don't remember when this happened, but the behavior that you discussed or that you described, where you register and then does not show on the list of device,
Mm-hmm.
I did it as well. But what I did, I think I put again the chip on power, waited 10 seconds, went again for register, it found it, and then after that basically kind of reappeared in the list. So, but
well, it's
I
been a
didn't have
number
any
of days on and off, and it hasn't reappeared and nothing's happened. I've tried it a couple times since the first time that I did it. So
Okay.
I'm inclined to send the chip back. It had behavior from the beginning that was odd, like the light didn't come on or anything normal. So I don't know what the deal was, but I'm pretty sure it's not registered. And I'm in order to get it out, I don't know how to get it out of DFU mode in order to register it, because it says you can't register it if it's in DFU mode.
Mike, I had some similar problems with I can't remember if it was a C or a B chip. And I went back and forth via email with Christian, and it wouldn't register and it wouldn't get out of DFU mode or BT mode. I can't remember what the different modes are. And he said, in order to complete the registration and to get out of one of those modes, he said, you got to turn off the Bluetooth on your cell phone.
Yeah.
So, and I tried that, and everything was wonderful afterwards. So don't ask me why that's important, and it's something you need to do, but it sounds like you're already aware of it.
Yeah, I am aware of that. I think I've tried it on my Android phone. I'll have to double check. I started doing it through the app in the first place. One of the things I'm thinking about, though, is that I always switch them right away to SSD position, so it works on AC. So I can use it both on SSD and on DC only. The only thing it does is clip the top end a little bit. If you do that. So thinking about it now, that's the only thing that I haven't tried yet, is to put it back to DC mode and see if I can get it there. I'll try that later on and see if I can make it work. But go ahead.
So the fact that you've moved that screw and the chip does not behave properly unless that screw is nice and snug down, the first thing I would do is just tighten that screw down. Just make sure there's absolutely no possibility of a gap between the screw and the washer and the chip.
Yeah, that I have done because I'm aware of that problem. I've had it happen before.
Okay.
So
Then the next thing I would do is you said that the chip doesn't appear in the NRF toolbox. Are you using Toolbox, Connect, or DFU?
I tried in Toolbox and DFU.
Okay. And so when you use the DFU app, it's not showing up as DFU O2 car or anything else or anything at all.
Right.
But you believe the chip is stuck in this DFU mode because the app keeps saying the chip's in DFU mode and it won't connect.
Correct.
I don't think it's actually in DFU mode. So the first thing I would do is use the magnet trick, like stick a magnet to the hall sensor with some blue tack so that as soon as you apply power, the light blips and it goes and it's in DFU mode. Right?
That was part of my solution via Christian 2 is to glue the hall sensor to the magnet. Make sure it stays on there while you're doing something.
Yeah, don't try to wave a magnet over it after it's already got power. Don't try to put the car on a track above the magnet, in a car. Literally blue tack a magnet to the back of the stinking hall sensor and then apply power. And if the light doesn't flicker and stay off, then turn the magnet around because it's probably the wrong polarity. But when the magnet is stuck to the hall sensor like that and the hall sensor is properly, in the chip, I've never had that fail. It's always been a very reliable trick to get it actually into the real DFU mode. And then it'll show up in the NRF DFU app. For whatever reason, Toolbox and Connect and all these other apps that they don't do what it's do for other people. I've only had success with the actual DFU app most recently.
Yeah.
But if you were to come over with that chip, that's the first thing I would do. And it would probably work because you're at my house instead of your house.
Yeah, no kidding. I don't know what there is at my house that makes it do all this stuff.
and then if you do successfully get it into DFU mode and it shows up in the DFU app, I would probably put like an old firmware on it. Like not 306, like 310 or 312 or something like that. One of the early app aware versions. And then see if you can register it. And then once it's registered, then use the slotted app to update to whatever firmware you want to update it to.
Yeah.
Well, once it's been registered, it stays
go through
registered.
it methodically again and see what happens. But it was frustrating. I've got I was setting up the Formula One cars and I was going to use one as a ghost car. So I was going to put, I've got 6 of those Formula One cars and I was going to put one in and do that. And I always test those ahead of time because you have to disconnect the wires and solder them right to the motors in order to because of space limitations.
Yeah.
So I always make sure that those work before I solder them in. So that was, anyway, it was frustrating. We'll see what happens. I'll try again, and I believe I held the magnet against the hall sensor in order to do it. I wonder if maybe I've got a defective hall sensor. That's something that just occurred to me right now.
That's also possible.
That's a possibility if I plug another hall sensor in and see if it works that way.
Yeah. When I was setting up my set of slotted cars for last week, I'm pretty sure I killed 2 hall sensors. And I didn't make the connection with this until I used the third one. Fortunately, I already had a couple spares from prototype chips and stuff. What I had done is I used some I think it was GS Hypo, so it doesn't set right away, to glue down the hall sensor in some shrink tube.
Oh,
So I put some shrink tube around the sensor, right? And shrunk it so it's snug, right? And then I glued the shrink tube to the chassis. And the way that I held that down so that it wouldn't move while the glue was curing was a magnet on the bottom and a magnet above it. So it was basically sandwiched between two magnets.
uh-huh.
Now, I'm not an electronical expert, but I feel like sandwiching a hall sensor between two magnets is bad for the hall sensor. Because neither one of the sensors that I had done that with would
Worked after.
reliably count laps or do what it was expected to do. And I finally thought, you know what, maybe that was a bad idea. So then I did my glue up differently with the third sensor, and it reliably counts laps. I don't know. Maybe I'll try those other sensors later on down the line. See if they came back or whatever, or I was wrong. But yeah, word to the wise, don't use magnet sandwich to hold down your sensor while gluing it to the chassis.
Oops.
Oopsies.
Yeah. Well,
So
it's
yeah, try
akin to
if
when
you
I
have a
first
spare
started.
sensor, try a different sensor if you have a spare to try.
Yeah, I've got a bunch of other sensors on other cars. I can pull one off and test it without a problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's akin to all the chips I blew when I was doing SSD with magnets. There's a learning curve.
Yeah.
Spendy, however.
Fortunately, you can get spare hall sensors, but they're not.
That's true. That's true.
Not cheap. Yeah, I need to put some on my next order.
Yeah.
So that I have spares again.
Yeah. But are they the new ones? Because there was a batch of some of them that were not that great, I guess.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, hopefully those got pulled. Yeah, I mean, it's possible that the ones that were not working were from the bad batch. I don't know. I don't remember how to identify them.
Yeah, but I hadn't thought about the hall sensor being bad, that would be a problem. So who knows? I don't know. Bluetooth and me don't get along real well, apparently.
And I had to reprogram all the ARC controllers back to Hornby ARC, to give them back to Chris, who I'd borrowed them from.
Oh, geez.
And it's not a hard process, but if the batteries aren't good, then you can do everything, and as far as you've done everything, the controller should be in DFU mode. But unless the batteries are good, then it's not gonna be communicating well enough, right? My phone and the controller are right next to each other, so it's not like a range thing. But I had a couple of controllers when I was programming them to be oxygen do that, and that made sense because whatever batteries were in there had been there for months and months. So that made sense that I replaced batteries. But after the race, so the controllers had all worked fine for the racing, and so when I had to reprogram them back to ARC, I still had one that didn't want to program, and it was old batteries, but they were good enough to race with, just not good enough to reprogram the firmware. But as soon as I put fresh batteries in, it just went blippity boop like it was supposed to.
Yeah. Electronics don't like low voltage.
Sure. And I didn't even bother testing this. It's probably like 1.49 volts per cell rather than 1.56 volts per cell. It's like, come on, really? Jeez.
Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, Jeremy, happy I brought up something negative about digital again.
Yeah. Balance things a little bit. Jim, I don't know if you saw my comment, but one of the people on YouTube was asking if you were going to share your little block / hook print for that light.
I hadn't planned on it. I can send it to you if you want to put it on your site.
Sure.
That good? Yeah, I'll send you the file.
Okay. There's the answer.
I still don't, I don't have an account with any of those online file sharing sites. So I guess it's pretty easy to do though, isn't it?
It's pretty easy to do. Yeah, it's just like any other website account.
Okay, if I may look into that tomorrow. If I don't, I'll send it to you.
Yeah, just pick a site, Maker World, Thingiverse, Colts, printables, whatever.
Sounds good. I think they should be about $50, don't you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Just for the download. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've got to make going from tens of dollars to 15s of dollars.
Mm-hmm. Start raking it in.
You can go from 10 to 15s of dollars? Nobody told me about this.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just convert it to Canadian. It's really easy.
Yeah, people keep sending me $15 bills. It's no problem.
Wow.
That's actually just 5 $3 bills, isn't it?
Oh, I can print $15 bills.
For sure. Good fun. John, is it done yet?
Yeah, is it done yet?
Actually, you know what? Well, actually, for Greg, I'm just checking here. Hang on a second. I was looking into. I've got the masks pretty much all done. You see that? See that? So I'm checking what I've what do you call it? How my masking is against. This was a sheet from Leo.
Yeah.
And I cut these out and make sure they fit. Actually, hopefully my masking will be better than these things. They didn't really fit very well.
Yeah.
And then I've got a whole bunch of things lined up to paint. So including my the trucks that I'm working on and a whole bunch of things. It's just nice to batch everything.
Yeah. Cool.
Does anybody have the new slotted Mazda that they put out and a pair of calipers? I just need some measurements off of it.
No, I don't have it yet.
All right.
I've got so many group C's that I sort of like trying to restrain myself.
I got one. What do you need?
I need the rear track, like from outside tire to outside tire.
On the 787B?
It's the new one. Is it 787 or is it 7?
The pink one, 767.
It's like the orange and green one, isn't it?
No, the new one is pink and yellow.
Oh, pink and yellow. Yeah, that's right. I can't remember. I wish they would just name the car something cool instead of numbers.
I got to find it first. The one I have is the black test car, but it's a 787B.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe that's it. No, it's not it? Okay.
No.
This one here.
No, that's not it.
Well, this is the test car.
I think they have a newer one though.
That's not a 767 though.
Yeah, this is a 787.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need the smaller one, huh? I mean,
is actually a different car. I mean,
okay,
totally different car, different chassis, different body.
All right, no biggie. Or wait, was it a new Mazda I said, or is it new Nissan? I can't remember.
What?
The new slotted. Was it a Mazda that came out? The pink and yellow one?
No, it's a Mazda 767B.
767. Okay.
For sure.
Okay. That is it.
Anybody else got anything? Or should we end the live?
I think we are dead as a door.
We're dead. Yeah, dead in the water. All right. Ending the live stream. Everybody wave bye till next week. Bye.
Is this the one you're asking about?
Sure, right.
Yeah, let's just do it off the stream. That's fine.